Well, I'll say good morning, girls. If there is a boy, I would say good morning, boys and girls, all students, young ladies, for point of corrections, because you guys are young ladies, are ladies. All right, let me call my roll, man. I'm going to start with a roll call, and I'm going to call a few students that I actually have your name in my roster here. Pinky A. Tanon, Victoria Ford, Orita Flomo, Nomin Nani, Marie Mopu, Mala Freeman, Kubo Fokba, King Zizi. If I say your name wrong, bear with me, okay? Janet Joseph, Diamond W. Willie, Felicia's H. Dixon, uh, Felicia's Moses, Victoria Nipo, Wilhelmina S. Roden, Rebecca Arbets, Cyril F. Kofa, Mami B. Rufus, and Nadi Kitty. All right, a few of you, I have your names on my roster. If I didn't see your name wrong, I chop your name a little bit. Bear with me, okay? So my name formally is Benedict Sarti. You all know me to be the visionarian behind the establishment of the Institute of Liberia Job Corps. It's a long dream, very long dream. I have worked all my life towards this process, and I tell God thank you that we have come this far. But I miss not being there. But through technology and the global net, I still would like to be a part of the training process, and I'm going to be a part of your fashionable design training program. I'm going to be a facilitator when it comes to your business studies, computer studies. I'm also going to be part of all of those disciplines. So today I am starting out as your teacher, and I'm actually going to be teaching you about tie and dyeing or cloth coloring or as part of your fashion design curriculum. So you're not just going to learn how to sew, you're going to learn how to change white cloth into a color or a design that you would love to see sew into a garment or a suit or something. That's the advantage about this program. Now I'm going to give you a brief, um, tell you a brief about my experience when it comes to tie and dye. I actually came across tie and dyeing. Um, it was in 2000. I think the year 2000, either 2000 or 1999. It's been a little while now. I'm getting a little rusty. I actually graduated from the OIC then. I graduated from the sixth cycle of the Liberian Opportunity Industrialization Center. It's right in New Matali in Liberia. I was a young boy. I actually gave my mother a lot of hard times, and then it came to a point where I knew that my mother, she had tried her best, but things were not too well with her. So I needed to step up to the plate. So what I did was I took a year out of school, grade school, and I went to learn a trade. So I went to the OIC to study plumbing. So I studied, well, it was called building trade, but I studied plumbing. And then I was to go to Habel. Back then, if you graduated, you had what they call a job placement. So what a job placement was, they would send you to a company or either place that people do the same kind of work the training you did, so you can work there and build your job experience. So I was to be part of a team that was to go to Habel. It was scheduled for the day right after the New Year Day, but I didn't turn up. So it is important to turn up. If you're supposed to be somewhere, It is very important to make sure that you are there. That was one of my first experience in life when it comes to not turning up on time. Time is a very important factor. You never know. Some of you are in this training program here and you say, well, I'm not going to go today. You never know who's going to walk in that training program on that day and say, hey, um, Victoria Ford, I want to be your sponsor, and this is what I'm going to do for you and your family, or you and your kid if you have kids. This is what I'm going to do. Or maybe the person will say, Klubo, I would like to take care of your training, and I would like to make sure that you don't have to worry about anything. So it's important because that's what the whole program about. Creating an opportunity that where you ladies, you young ladies will be able to be self-reliant. One day you will own your own house, take care of your children, and be a happy women or happy women in the society. So I missed. Go back to my lecture, my story. I missed the day, and I went the day after, and the group have already left. So they replaced me with somebody else. So I was so disappointed. I was so angry and disappointed. So what happened is there was a new program they had just established in Vonjaman City, Lofa County. And the accounting for that program was uploading his material, training materials into the pickup truck that was going, or there was a truck that was packing things in there. So I went and I helped them do all the parking and everything because I have my little small bag with me and all. I helped them do all the parking and everything. And I asked the man, I said, where you guys are going? He said, to Lofa. I said, I would like to come. He said, why? I said, I was to go to Vonium Habel to work there as an apprentice after my training, but I missed the class. I missed the day. So he said, but Vonjima is not like Habel. Vonjima is is a recovering place. So I said, well, it doesn't matter. I just want to get out of Monrovia. So I left and went with him. So they had a program, and I became part of the program. I actually became a student of the program. Then they had this tie-dyeing class. So since I was there, I decided to learn something. They had an academic program, and then they had a tie-dyeing class. So I took the tie-dyeing class. And that was when I saw the beauty of holding a single white cloth, sewing it with thread and creating pattern, putting ink on that cloth, and opening the cloth and washing the ink off and having a beautiful design like my shirt on me. It's like a tie-dye, flowerful designs. Now they use computer now a lot, but that's the whole idea. So I did learn tie-dyeing, and I went back to Monrovia. And I want to say to you all, it saved my life. It provided for me. I became a refugee in Sierra Leone. And while in Sierra Leone, I became a teacher. I taught tie-dyeing to women, young girls. I taught them tie-dyeing. I was able to sustain myself. I was living in a refugee camp, but I was living a comfortable life because I had a skill that I could live by. So that's a little history of my experience when it comes to tie and dyeing. That's my experience of when it comes to tie and dyeing. That's my little experience. So I had my experience when it comes to tie and dyeing. So it all worked out. Everything worked. So let's move directly into your lecture. We will start with the history of tie and dyeing. When a lot of us see tie and dye, we think of hippies and 60s culture. But did you know that it was long been a practice in Africa? From Ghana to Gambia, tie dyeing is one of the many ways that African artisans like to express their style and diversity. Long before the 70s, tie and dyeing was known as shibori, a Japanese term that encompasses a wide variety of resist dyeing techniques, which have been utilized by different cultures for over 600 years. The end result are random patterns that are either geometric or loose and free flooring, or combinations of everything in between. So that's a little history of tie-dye. I'm going to go more, I'm going to explain more of the history of tie and dye. But that is a little history of tie and dye. So actually, it had been around for a while. Tie-dyeing have been around for a while. Africa actually is the pioneer of the whole tie and dye process. It's not only in Liberia alone or Mandingo people alone that do tie-dyeing. The people in Nigeria, in Mali, in Senegal, and all those places, they do tie-dye. So tie-dye been around for a very long period of time. A very long period of time. Tie-dye have been around for a long, long time. A lot of people really don't know, but tie-dye have been around for a very long period of time. I personally fell in love with tie and dyeing because I just enjoy the beauty of creating something and seeing somebody wear my design, or seeing my design shown or turned into a beautiful garment or dress, or a lapa suit. It was really beautiful. If you look at my background or behind me, you'll see a lot of images of tie-dye designs, and even people doing tie-dye designs. So tie-dye have been around for a while, and it is a very beautiful art. A very beautiful art. There is no perfection in tie-dyeing, but there is what they call artistics. This means you are an artist. You can, like the lady in the picture behind me. As you see, she put the cloth on the table, and she used the ink in the broom, and she spread the ink on the cloth, and that would turn to a beautiful design. So tie-dyeing have been around for a while, and it is a very beautiful, beautiful artwork. Very beautiful artwork. It has been around for a while, and it is a very beautiful artwork. It shows a lot about artworks when it comes to tie-dyeing. So let's go back to a little bit explanations. Now look right here. For centuries, African artists have used the tie-dyeing techniques to produce vivid fabrics for garments and home decor. Beginning with a base fabric, intricate patterns are defied, created by weaving or dyeing strings or small straps of grass to form a resist. Many of the symbols you will see in African tie-dye comes from the various cultures in Africa. Tie-dye from West Africa often features Ashanti, Aka, or Anika Adekara symbols. Many plants and animals signify different things in the Ashanti culture. For example, an alligator symbolizes adaptability. A heart signifies patience, tolerance, and the famous gay Naimi symbol symbolizes God omnipotence and power. So tie-dyeing is not just putting the cloth or color on a cloth, but it signifies a lot about the culture of the people that do the tie and dyeing. A lot. So most of the design you see on tie-dyeing signify cultures of the people that do the dyeing, or go ahead that design those dye lapas, like according to the brief explanations I just read about tie-dyeing. Tie-dyeing is a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful art. It's a very beautiful art. Very, very beautiful art. Very, very beautiful art. If you look right here, I'm going to show you some tie-dye designs. So that is a design of tie-dye. On the left is the cloth. On the right is a cloth being the cloth being worn by someone else. Or a lady can walk vibrantly or walk prestigiously in her African attire and feel like a lady and feel very responsible or feel very important. So when you create a cloth or you design a tie-dye of your own in the future, always remember you are not just designing a piece of cloth or putting color on a piece of cloth. You are preparing a material that will be worn by someone who it will brighten their day. It will make them feel real good. That's what we do. It will make them feel good of themselves. It will improve their self esteem, and it will do a lot for people who wear clothing. As you do know, women love to wear beautiful clothing. That has been around for a very long time. I'm gonna go back to a little bit of explanation. There are several techniques used for tie dyeing in Africa. One method is to have a cloth tie or stitch by tightening so that the dye cannot penetrate the fabric. Then a stitch substance is applied to the fabric. This will resist the dye, giving the fabric pale areas on a dark background when it's washed at the end of the dyeing process. This is more often used for two-tone dyeing. Now, what he's saying right there. Now, I'm not here. There's not an academic class. It's not a book class. So don't get frightened to say, "Oh, probably for me, I do not know how to read and write, or I have not gone to school, or I went a little bit in school, so I'm not good with. I can't understand those big words." You're not going to be taking tests. And my job is to teach you to do it, experience it wholly, use your hands, and create beautiful fabric design. That's my job. That's what I am going to be doing, or we are going to be doing together. We're going to be working together for the betterness of all the students. Every student is going to enjoy the beauty of being able to design your own fabric, being able to design your own thing, do something that you can actually enjoy. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to design your own fabric that you will look at and say, "I love the fact that I am doing my own design." And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when you can do things for yourself. It's beautiful when you can create something. You see, artwork is so beautiful because when you create something, it just made you feel real good. It's not just it's the beauty or the accomplishment that comes when you create something. That's why artists are always happy people. Artists the smile when their productions are done, when they do something and they see the end result of what they have accomplished. It just make them happy. That's what artists is all about. So being an artist, that's what it's all about. So I'm going to be showing you a video of tie-dyeing process in Nigeria. So you hold on for me, okay?
Adire. Are is a tie and dye process that is very synonymous to the southwest part of Nigeria. It is most popular with the Abeokuta, also known as the Egba people in Ogun State. There are two types of tie and dye process. The ancient type known as Aro, which makes use of the indigo plant extract. This is a tedious but lasting way of making adire. This type is still preferred by the elderly Abeokuta people. Its own process of design involves sewing the pattern most of the time. The second process is the popular Kampala type, which mostly involves tying up to form designs, primarily making use of caustic soda with colors and dye for the process. This process involves choosing the material, tying it up in designs, and soaking it up in the dye. Then the rinsing process before it is laid out to dry. After which, it is thoroughly shaken and dusted free of stones and any other debris that is attached in the process of making it. After shaking it, it is straightened out and folded. The final process is the beating to smoothness with the olu and omolu. Then it is packaged for sale. That is how your popular adire is made in short. It is our own. We are Nigerian, and let's wear our own.
Her sister from Nigeria telling you about the tie-dye process in Nigeria is called adire. So your question for today lesson, what is tie-dye called in Nigeria? Tie-dye is called adire. Adire. So tie-dye in Nigeria, they call the thing adire. We call it in Liberia tie-dye. In Nigeria, they call it adire. So it is a long tradition. It's a very long tradition. Tie-dye has been around for a very long time. It has been around for a very, very long time. And I mean, the designs, I'm going to be showing you some designs and some artwork on tie and dyeing. I'm going to show you some design and some artwork on tie and dyeing. If you look at, I'm going to show you some design and some artwork on tie and dyeing. Now, in these images that you're going to be looking at right now, you're going to see different that symbolizing of tie-dye in Africa. A girl and a boy wearing a tie-dye lapa. That's the tie-dye lapa right there that you're going to be creating. You guys are going to be creating or designing your own tie-dye lapa like that. That was a white cloth. Now you see the ladies, what they did was they put the cloth in the water. Then they squeeze the cloth and then they put the cloth together like you're playing like a children playing. So to put it together is called like a sala. That's how they call that design. So the sala design, they put it together and you see they apply the ink, different color of inks is being spread on the lapa. They have different color of inks. This other lady is using a brush. She pulled she actually put in the ink in the brush and springing it out. So tie-dye have been around for a long period of time, and you guys, while learning fashion design or tailoring is called home, you are going to be learning how to create your own design, your own tie-dye lapa. That's what you're going to be doing. You guys are going to be able to create your own tie-dye lapa that you can use or design in order for people to see your handwork. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be creating your own design in order for people to see your handwork. It is very important it is very interesting to have an end work of a design you create and the end work of your design, and you just see exactly how beautiful it is when you design something and it turned up to be a very beautiful artwork. That's the beauty of art. That's the beauty of designs. So you would design your own cloth and then you're going to be able to sew that cloth or sell it to someone, and the person come to you and buy your cloth, because the whole idea of what we are doing is that you ladies are going to be independent entrepreneurs, which means you're going to have a little shop after your training, or shops going to be put into group, have your shops, and you're going to be sewing, and people are going to come. So when people come there, if you create your own lapa, your own tie-dye lapa, and your lapa stock is right behind you, all they're going to be doing picking lapa from your lapa stocks, and they'll be able to sew for themselves, or you will be able to sew for them. So then you'll be doing two things at once. You will be making money from designing your own cloth, and then from sewing the cloth for somebody to wear. That's what you're going to be doing. That's the beautiful part of learning, learning how to tie dye on your own. It is very beautiful. So you will really enjoy what it is. In the Western society, the tie dye is like an ink. It's already created already. So the people here, what they do is that they have the ink. It's been processed already. So you don't need to mix. You don't need no mixture. The ink is so it's already created already. You just design design your T-shirt. In Western society, people design T-shirt more than anything else. So T-shirt is what people really design in the in Western society. People design T-shirt. This could be. You see, in Liberia or in other Africa, people like to design other fabrics or other design. Here, the people design T-shirt. They like to design T-shirt. So T-shirt design is a real big deal over here. T-shirt design is a really big deal. So I'm going to be showing you, giving you an example of the design or T-shirt design, so you guys can see what it is when somebody is designing T-shirt. So maybe you want to be somebody who will design T-shirts and sell your T-shirt in your community. So you will do your own tie-dyeing T-shirt and sell your T-shirt in your community and make your money from there. So all of that make you what? A business person of your own. You will be a business person of your own if you can create T-shirts and sell your T-shirts to people. You're a business person of your own, which means you make your own money. Really, that's what you're going to be doing. So I'm going to be showing you a video of the design of a T-shirt design, and how T-shirts are designed, so you can see for yourself. So maybe if you choose to just design a T-shirt, for me, all I want to do is design my T-shirt and sell it. You can make money from that as well. So it's up to you. You can do that as well. So that's the beautiful part of the artwork in tie and dyeing. You can be creative. You are not limited. You have no limitation on what you can do in terms of designing. You can do many things in terms of design. You have no limitation. You can design bed sheets. You can design window curtains. You can design bed sheets and then sew them. So your cloth, put it together, and design your bed sheet. You can design and sew pillowcases and sell it right in the market, or have somebody sell it for you, and you go and get your money, and you be your own boss. You don't need nobody to be your boss. The only thing I'll ask that when you are independent, remember the Job Corps program and come back sometimes to visit us and let your friends know what you are doing and how successful you are, or how your business is, or whatever you be doing, how it's working for you. That one of the things that would be good for our students to do. When you made it, come back to the program and tell your friends what you're doing, what your experience are, and things that you have learned on your own. So this is a big Job Corps family. Our family is we are one big family with a Job Corps program. That's what we are. I'm putting together a video production for you so you can see exactly how this is done. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to put this together for you so you can see how it's done. Yep. T-shirt design. So you stay tuned for a t-shirt design. So this is going to show you how t-shirts are designed. You're going to see how people design t-shirts. It is a very beautiful artwork. Hold on 1 second for me. Hold on. I'm trying. So that person is literally just wet the shirt and pull the shirt together. That's what they're doing literally. They wet the t-shirt and they put the t-shirt together. That's what they're doing literally. They wet the t-shirt, put the t-shirt together, and that's what they're doing right there. So watch them. Watch that presentation, okay? Now, they're applying the ink. So they took the ink and they put the ink. They took the ink and put the ink in something like they put the ink in a cup, something like a cup. And then what they're doing right there is that they are literally spraying the ink on the cloth. That's what they're doing. They're spraying the inks on the cloth right there. You see what they're doing right there? They're spraying the ink on the cloth. They put the ink in on the, you see in the cup in their hands. So they put the ink in the cloth, with something you can do. You can buy, you can, to make it more professional. I think that's a beautiful idea. And they're sprinkling the ink on the cloth, on the t-shirt. So that t-shirt, they soak the t-shirt in the water, squeeze the t-shirt, put the t-shirt together like you're making a fold the t-shirt together. You can see what it did. They just fold the t-shirt together, and now they put it first color, which was I think is red, and the second color is yellow. So they're applying the yellow color right there, and then the tail color seems to be blue. They're adding the blue color there. So that's something that you guys are going to be doing. You see, they're applying the blue color right now. That's what they're doing right there. They're applying the blue color, and they're wearing their hand gloves. They're applying the blue color right there. As you can see, they're now applying the blue color all around. They're applying the blue colors all around. That's what they're doing. Putting the blue color all around. So you have three colors right there, and they fold that t-shirt. There's something that you guys are going to be doing to tie the t-shirt together so that it cannot spread up. Fold it tight, and now watch what the end process is going to look like. So that's what you guys are going to be doing, creating your own designs. Now they turn it around. Why they turn it around? They turn it around because apparently the dog didn't go through all the way to the bottom. So they turn it around so they can actually apply the dog on the other side, so it can be beautifully done on both ends. That's what they're doing right there. Keep watching. applying the dye right now on the other end. On the other end, that's what they're doing. Applying the dye on the other end of the t-shirt. Just keep watching. You see how beautiful that production is going to come out. Just watch and see how beautiful it's going to be. And if you have any questions, you give your question to Fico. You send me the questions, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. But keep watching. So that's a t-shirt design. What it did was to put the ink. First and foremost, put a t-shirt. First, to put a t-shirt in the water, and squeeze the t-shirt, and fold the t-shirt together like a spider web. Put the t-shirt together, and tie it so that it cannot lose. Instead of putting the ink. Now, when you look at this design, between the yellow and the blue, there is a green color right there. If you look at between the yellow and the blue, there is a green color right in the middle. What happened there was when those two colors meet, they create another color. So coloring or color mixtures, sometimes when two colors meet, they create a different color. So they did not put green in the design. They only did three colors. He did the red, the blue, and the yellow. But then, because the blue and the yellow is meeting together, it's creating a green in the middle. If you watch in the middle, you will see a green. So it's actually creating a green in the middle. That's what it's doing. It's creating a green in the middle. Because blue and yellow meeting, creating another color. So sometimes you will literally be working with three colors, and then your three colors will turn to 4 colors or 5 colors. The reason is simple. It's because when the color meets, they create their own. Watch out the end result. Can you see the end result? Can you see that design, how beautiful it is? See that t-shirt, how beautiful it is? That's what you're going to be doing, okay? Guys, that's what we're going to be doing. So right now, I'm going to be going back into our lecture. And I don't want any distraction. I'm going to go back into our lecture. So sorry for that interruption. So that's exactly what you guys are going to be doing. We're going to be doing t-shirt designs. We're going to be doing cloth designs that you can sew. You'll be able to sew and create a lapel. And that's what you guys are going to be doing. That's part of our process, our training process. You're going to be learning how to do tie and dye. You're going to be learning how to do tie and dye. Now, I'm going to do something right here. I'm going to talk about what the designer did on one of the cloth here. I'm going to show you what it did. I'm going to put the cloth on the bowl, and I'm going to show you what the designer did. Okay? I'm going to show you exactly what the designer did. Yep, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what the designer actually did. You see the designer when the designer designed the cloth, the designer actually had to first and foremost do a sketch. So you get a white cloth, a plain white cloth, plain white lapel, and you put the cloth down. So behind me right there is a design. So the person, what they did was, they put that white cloth down and they used the pencil and draw something like a heart. And then they use the needle and the twine and the sew around it. As they sew around it, sew it, hold it, and tie it. Sew it around the heart, hold it, and tie it. So you go on a trace. You're going to trace the right thing you did. You sew it, hold it, and tie it. You're going to do it all around the whole lapel. So that's one of the ways that tie dyeing is done. When you're using the stitch, you sew, hold, and tie and tie it down. Some of the designs are just done by flashing. So sometimes the people just put a cloth down or put a cloth together, soak the cloth in water, squeeze the water off, put the cloth together and sprinkle the dye on the cloth. It'll come out to become a fine or something beautiful. So you can never, the bigger mistake you can make in tie dyeing is to do the wrong mixture of your chemical. If you do the wrong mixture of your chemical, the dye will run off the clothes. When you put the clothes in the water, all the dye will run off. Or if you don't put the required or the exact amount of caustic soda, the dye will be, the lapa will be thin. Now, if you don't use a cotton and you want to use a plastic cloth or a polyester, you're not going to get a real beautiful design. You need a cotton cloth to be able to do a beautiful tie-dye design. You need a cotton cloth. With a cotton cloth, you'll be able to do a beautiful tie-dye design. If you look into this picture right here, it's going to show you beautiful tie-dyeing designs. So actually, I'm going to put a slide up here for you guys to look at again. Okay. The guy and the girl, they symbolizing African tie-dye design. The lady, what she wearing there, they use a pencil and draw like a cycle, and then they sew around the cycle, holly and tie. Sew around, holly and tie. Sew around, holly and tie. So when you make sure you tie it tight so that the dye can go between. That's what it did. Sew around, haul and tie. Sew around, haul and tie. The same thing. The guy on the clothes, they did two different kinds of design. In the center of his shirt, what it did was it's called the kawia. They just make a knot, tie the knot, and then they spring the dye all around the cloth. So when you look at his shirt all around looking like amic fatigue, or just spring the dye around. They only use two color dye, one color dye. That's one color dye right there, because the cloth was white and the dye was orange. The girl is a one color dye as well. The girl is white, and in the center of her dress, you notice that the blue is kind of light in the center of the dress. Why is that the problem? The reason why is that when the designer was designing that cloth, the ink didn't go all the way in there. So let's move to the second one. The second one is coming up, the second design. So the second design right here, what they utilize in the second design right here is, it's like it's like a diamond shape. So they did the diamond shape design. So the designer or whoever did the tie-dyeing design did a diamond shape design. What it did was they put a cloth on the table. That's where you guys gonna have your beautiful tables. You're gonna spread your cloth on the table. You use the ruler. If you know a ruler, draw the ruler line, and then they went like a diamond. So that's the next design. The next design is the diamond design. So after doing the diamond design in the cloth, now if you look here, I'm going to show you. So if you look right here, there was a diamond design done right here. They did a diamond design. And then they sew around the diamond from here all the way here, it was sew. And the tie is very tight. Then they move to the second diamond design right here. This is another diamond. So they create a space between one diamond, two diamond, and three diamond would be the one up here. So that's what they did. They didn't just do diamond all around. Now between here is it's like between here is where the dye meets. Okay, let's move to the tail one and see. We'll move into the tail one and see what the tail one will bring up. Let me see the tail design. I'm gonna go over the tail one for you. All right, guys. Stay tuned. Stay in the class, guys. I know you have any questions. Now, this other design that is coming up, you see all the ladies. They look like old ladies. They took the white cloth put it in the water, squeeze the water out. So if you look right here, that's the cloth right, the white cloth right there. Squeeze the water up, put it on the mat, and then when they put it on the mat, they did their hands like this, like that. They did their hands like that. That's what it did. They did their hands like that, and they put it together. That's what it did. Did their hands like that. They put it all the way together. So they're putting it together, and they would take different color inks and sprinkle those inks all around. Sometimes they'll use 3 colors, but because if you use blue, yellow, and red, wherever the color meets, it will create another different colors. So you sometimes you use 2 colors dye, and you happen to find out you got 3 color, or you use 3 color dye, and your cloth come out with 4 colors. So you gotta be very careful. If somebody give you a job to do and say, I only want 2 colors in my dye, you must know that if those 2 colors are colors that when they meet, they're going to create a different color. Let the person know that if you want me to do a blue and a yellow color on one lapa, when they mix together, it's going to create a green in the middle. So if that way you have to tie a plastic bag between where you don't want it to meet. You got to tie a plastic bag between. So let's look at the cloth here. You see this cloth right here? This cloth right here had blue here, dark blue over here, and a white in the middle. Where the white straps are where the thread was. So you see all the white straps, that's where the thread was, where the white straps was. Even the one over here. The one over here, where all those white straps are where the thread was. Let's come down to this one right here. There is a one right here. I think it was the one. This one. This one right here. No, right down here. This one right here. This one here, they never used thread. This is a salad design. What it did was, like the same thing those ladies were doing, the older lady were doing, is what it did with this kind of design. They put it together. That's what it did right there. Let's move forward to the next. All right, guys. So let me go back to a little bit to the next design. All right. This explains it all. When you look at what is coming out here, I told you what it did was the lady was doing, putting the cloth together like that. It's what now they're doing right here. Now when you look here, there is a red color, blue color. The white you see in the middle is still the actual color of the cloth, the white cloth. So they combine the colors together. Keep watching. And they spring it over there. So what they're actually using, you never do that. Do not use your hands. Always wear the glove. That's why you guys are going to have gloves. Don't use your hand with that chemical. You're gonna hurt yourself. Don't use your hands. Those people that have been see this person here has been very daring. You can't use your hand like that. What he's doing is he has something like a sponge and he's squeezing it. Don't do that. That's not good. You're gonna use your gloves. Don't ever use your bare hands to do a tie-dye design because you are using caustic soda. You cannot use caustic soda with your bare hands. Don't you do that. That is very dangerous to use caustic soda with your bare hands. Do not do that. All right? Let's keep going. All right. So I'm gonna give you another tie-dye design. Okay. Another tie-dye design. The other tie-dye design is called a batik. So tie-dye design is called a batik. The batik tie-dye design. The batik tie-dye design is that you can use a batik tie-dye design 2 ways. Either you use a stem that has a stem that are already designed with, that has already been carved by the carpenter. The carpenter carved the stem. That's why we are going to use job core. We're going to create a job core stem, a batik stem, so that we can do our design with the stem using the candle. So I'm going to show you this right here. I want you to see this. This coming out. This is coming out for you to see. The batik stem. So we have the batik stem. The batik stem, what it does is that you use a batik stem. You put your candle in the stem, and you stem the clothes. You put your candle in the stem, and you stem the clothes. You put your candle in the stem, and you stem the clothes. So the batik stem is what I'm going to show you. So actually the old people, they don't use the old tie dyeing people. They don't use what we use. They're on the tie dyeing. Hold on for me. I want to show you this right here. I'm going to go back to show you an example of what the people do when it comes to sewing. I'm going to show you this design right here, this video design of the tie-dye design. Hold on for me. I want to show you this one. This is a beautiful design. I want you guys to look at that. Seeing what I just explained about using the needle and the thread and the twine. It's called a twine. Use the needle and the twine.
Here
Watch the man.
he is preparing
He's
a
putting the
traditional
cloth together.
disc
Watch.
or circle design. After wetting the cloth and marking the positions of the circles, he anchors the cloth with the heel of his foot and then starts pleating it. The pleated circles are bound tightly using cotton thread bought from the local market. The dye will not be able to penetrate these tied up areas of the cloth. When the circles are tied, he crumples the rest of the cloth against his leg. After dyeing, it will have a mottled background. This pattern is called asaman, meaning the sky or heavens. Cotton cloth can be tied in many different ways. Umu, a traditional cloth seller, sits in the market tying cloth in small clumps to make patterns of tiny circles. Mbemba begins dyeing the tied-up cloth. He dips each piece repeatedly in and out of the kola nut dye bath. They are left to drain overnight. By the next day, they have turned a deep orange brown. To finish the dyeing process, the kola-dyed cloths are over-dyed in indigo blue dye, or nganja. They are dipped several times in the indigo vat, or banda. This is a large oil drum full of dark, smelly, greenish blue dye. After dyeing, the cloths are rinsed and the threads cut, revealing the beautiful patterns. The indigo blue has mixed with the kola orange to make a whole range of subtle blues, greens and dark browns. Indigo dye has been the most popular and common source of colouring cloth throughout West Africa for centuries. Preparing the dye is a complicated process taking several days. Exact details of the recipe are kept a family secret.
class. So actually, right there, if you look at right, what that is the cola dyeing. So the cola people eat in Liberia can be used for dyeing. They used to use cola dyeing. All I mean, the older people do now, but still do. But it's an old-fashioned kind of dye. Now they have processed the dye now. So dye, we can buy dye. You don't have to go and find 2,000 cola, beat them in the mortar, soak them for days. You don't have to do all of that now. Things have improved. Technology have made things different. You don't have to go through all of that when you are doing, when you are producing a tie dye. You don't have to do all of that. All of that now is all done because you have this beautiful colors. They have different colors already set for you, already set, all different colors. So you also have what I call the candle dyeing. I was trying to go over the candle dyeing. The candle dyeing is you're dyeing the dye and use they call it batik. So they use the candle dyeing. So I'm gonna show you the candle dyeing. The candle dyeing is also part of dyeing too. So they use candle to do a dyeing. The candle dyeing is different kind of dyeing used called batik. So you melt the candle. You gotta melt your candle. So right here. And some people use a stamped. So watch. I'm gonna show you the stamped dyeing. They use a stamped to actually do the dyeing. They use a stamped. They design something with a carpenter. You go to the carpenter cut your stamp for you the way you want your dark stamp to be or the design to be. So if I live in Firestone and I want to do a tie-dye lapa with Firestone logo on it,
Firstly, ordinary
Watch this.
household candles are melted in a shallow metal bowl over a wood fire. The wooden stamp is dipped in the hot wax and then pressed firmly on the cloth. This cloth will have patterns made of an African comb design. The dye cannot penetrate the wax, so white patterns will be made wherever the cloth has been stamped.
so after stamping the cloth with the hot candle, look there.
Again with hot wax in places where orange patterns are wanted.
That's what it's doing right there. So the stamp the cloth, do the first color, and then the stamp the cloth again and do a second color. So if they want two color different
Remember,
stamps, that's what
now
they do.
dips the waxed cloth several times into indigo blue dye until the background has turned a deep black colour.
Yep, so that's the batik. It's
The
got-
waxed patterns remain orange and white, since the blue dye cannot get through those waxed areas of the cloth. To remove the wax, the cloth is dipped into a pan of boiling water, lifted out with a stick, and plunged immediately into cold water, where it is rubbed hard to remove any remaining wax. Before the cloth is taken to the market, it is ironed in the traditional way by beating it with heavy wood mallets. These are made of mahogany and can weigh up to 3 pounds each.
All right. So that's what batik is all like. Batik is another kind of tie dyeing called batik, and they use a candle. So it's use candle to design the lapel. I'm going to put a batik image on the blackboard right there on the whiteboard, and then show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you look at this image here, if you look at this image right here behind me, what you see over there is a totter. You know a totter? That's a totter right there. So they went to the carpenter, and the carpenter sketched the totter on the stick. He's like a stamped, and then they stamped the cloth. If you see here, the white places are where the candle was. All the places are white. That's where the candle was. All these places. If you see all these places here, that's where all the candle was. So all the places you see with a total mark, that's where the candle was. But this is a one color batik. So they did one color batik here. They put all the stems there and color it in blue. That's what you see. Now, one thing you notice that there are blue on the in between. That the candle, here is more white, and here is kind of like a lighter. It's because over here, the candle was not a lot. So when you're doing a batik design, be careful or be sure that you stamped the print hard enough so that, or put a little strength on that, so that the color can actually stay so you can protect stop the color from going through. That's exactly what the batik is all about. So that brings us to the end of today's class. This is your first lesson on tie dyeing design. Your next lesson will be next week. Until we meet again, I want to say thank you guys for taking your time. Next week we'll talk about how colors are mixed, how the designs are done, and everything else. All right, see you guys next week.